The Spot is brought to you by Feiruz.
Hey guys, you're back with us here on The Spot, and it's time for us to get into today's top 5. And Zainab has actually chosen today's top 5. I just want to say that because it's actually top 5 phobias, which is a weird top 5
How
to
is
have.
it weird?
It's a weird top 5 to have. I don't want to talk about scary stuff.
Rodents.
But my phobia might not be a phobia, so it might not be scary to you.
No, but a phobia is something that somebody is scared of.
Okay, you don't have to say your phobia then.
No, okay, fine, go ahead.
Okay, you must
I don't
say
want to
your
deal
phobia.
with yours.
Okay, rodents.
Why are you scared of rodents?
Because they're just disgusting. They run really fast.
I mean, I don't know that people necessarily
pee all
like them, but being scared of them.
No, people are
Because,
scared of them.
look, I've read a lot of different things about them, like rats especially, being able to jump like a meter high and stuff like that. I don't know. I don't like that.
And we're going to talk about
And they
rodents
carry-
when we start our topic for the day, actually, which is about health scares. No, because
Yeah,
they transmit a
carry
lot of
like
things.
yes,
a lot
They
of
actually do. Even with this recent Ebola scare, people were talking about how they might be carriers of it. But
Ooh, wow.
we'll find out.
Fear
Yeah.
of mice, I don't
Yeah.
know, fear of mice is actually called musophobia.
Oh, okay, so I have musophobia.
You have musophobia, yes.
Nice.
Okay, okay, so let's say that's number 5.
Mhm.
We'll go around. I guess, go
I have
you.
to. The first one is probably what everybody has. Not everybody, most people, fear of heights.
I don't have a fear of heights.
I'm not a fan of. I mean, I think I've started conquering it a lot recently, but when I'm in the tall building, looking down is it's not my favorite thing. And then I'm scared of poverty.
Aren't we all?
Oh my gosh.
I don't know if that's a great thing to say, but I mean, it's.
Nobody
I
wants
can't
to be
afford
poor.
to be. I mean.
You
no.
can't afford to be poor.
Yes.
Okay.
No pun intended.
Yeah.
So 4,
Yeah.
3, 2.
What's that one called?
Peniophobia.
Penia.
Why does it sound vulgar?
P-E-N-I-A phobia. Peniophobia. Yeah.
What's your phobia?
I have a
Besides
fear
being
of.
nice.
Besides of being nice, I'm not scared of being nice. I just choose sometimes not to be nice.
Most times.
It's a life choice. It's okay. You love me anyway.
What's your
Get
phobia?
over it. Fear of drowning.
Okay, yeah, that's a
Can you
disgusting
swim?
one. No.
I used to be a semi-good swimmer, and then I almost drowned twice. And so now I don't get scared to swim, but I get very anxious when I go towards the deep end. So I
Have you
need to
thought about-
conquer it before.
Yeah, have you thought
So
about
you're one
actually
of
taking
those
classes?
who go to a beach party and just by the beach.
No, I'll get in. I'll
Just
get
lounge
in.
by the pool.
But she just
I'll
won't
get
go
in.
to the deep end.
I'll get in. I might even go I might tip in the deep end and just because I always test myself. Like I'll go and I'll be like, and then I'll come back.
What
But I get
ain't
anxious.
one of those things I like to test.
Yeah. And the
Yeah,
second time I
yeah.
almost drowned, it was in the ocean. It wasn't in a pool. It was in the ocean, and the boat capsized, and I was like, I was like, oh, I'm gonna die! Woo! So that
Where
was
was
fun.
this?
This was it was Bar Beach. Was it Bar Beach? It was a beach, and we were like on a boat. It was here. It was Nigeria.
You were, like,
and the guy was playing
away
around,
from
and
the
we're like,
shore?
stop doing that seriously. And
Were you
and-
far out from the shore?
a little bit, yeah. So
So
it was
you-
deep enough. Like literally, I literally went. I was like really, really deep, and I was just like, oh, so this is how it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
And
is
then-
pretty
It's a very scary thing to do, though. The one time I swim very well, but the one time I was going to drown was when I was trying to save someone. Now, knowing how to swim and being a lifeguard is a completely different thing. I didn't know that to save someone, going under was a bad idea. So I went in and tried to,
Lift them up.
and this girl just saw support and just went and came out and started breathing. Forgetting that she was standing on someone, and underwater, your strength is not so.
Yeah.
I was trying to, and she just held me in there like, don't leave me, I'm dying. And then I started getting out of air. So literally, I just pushed her and came out.
Wow.
So what you're supposed to do actually is like, if either you go in front and pull, or from behind, just keep pushing the person out to like a shallow. If you're not that great a swimmer.
Okay.
This was like about 10 years ago.
Oh wow.
Like I almost died.
Can you swim in open water?
I can swim anywhere. This is a challenge.
Challenge accepted.
I can't.
I feel like if I had started like really, really early and went professional, I probably would have done well. Because I really like swimming.
I
Yeah,
can't
he
swim
really
in
likes to
open
swim.
water.
Yeah, I really like swimming, but I just
In
never
a
took it
pool,
that
yeah,
seriously.
but open water. Doesn't
Yeah, so
work
that's
for me.
actually one of my challenges or whatever to my
Set
bucket
a goal
list
for
is
2015.
Set a
Learn
goal.
how to swim.
I've been looking for a swim instructor for like the longest time to be quite.
Swim
actually, to be true.
instructors out there, please help London. Shall we have our guest? Come on.
Yes, we
Yes,
shall.
we shall.
She is a doctor.
Yep.
A sassy doctor.
A very sassy doctor indeed. And she likes the clubs, I hear. Please welcome Dr. Chioma Duru. Dr. D's in the building. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Don't worry, your license is safe.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hello. How am I sitting?
Anywhere you want to sit, it's good.
So,
Your license is safe.
Welcome to the spot.
thank you.
Nice to have you here.
Thanks for having me.
It is.
Do you watch the show?
Yes, I do.
Well, you're a doctor, so you're very busy usually. So how does that kind of like affect your normal life?
Well, these days I'm not as busy as.
Are you on strike too? Sorry.
Unfortunately, I'm not. But yeah, it's in the evenings, and then you guys have reruns.
Yeah, so you get to catch it sometimes.
Is there anything that you're particularly scared of when it comes to like your job?
I feel like you are scared of everything. You should be scared of everything. It's kind of what, keeps you on your toes, reminds you to protect yourself. So I can't say there's one thing I'm
Scared of
particularly scared of the most. Scared of.
That's actually an interesting.
Yeah.
That's actually an interesting way to put it. I never thought of it like that. Like it keeps you on. Like you're scared of everything.
Yeah.
Probably because also
Yeah.
you know what everything will do or what it. Yeah.
You know
So
what's-
it makes you proactive.
I'm just looking at you and
yourself.
thinking there's so much knowledge in your head and it's like
Do you want to try and take it out?
No, because there's a doctor, like, you know a lot of
Yeah.
things. Like,
I know what you
just
mean. I
can't-
know what you
think
mean.
people tend to think that about doctors just because we spend a whole lot of time in school and we have these huge,
Massive.
massive.
But even with experience, with like,
Yeah,
doing,
like-
working overtime,
Yeah.
like I know what she means. Like my mom is a nurse, and I know sometimes when we go home, we're like freaked out. Mommy, early. She's like, calm down. Just brings one bottle of something and does this, and
Yeah, I guess for
nothing
us
really
doesn't
freaks
feel
them out like that.
It doesn't feel like it's just I went to school for it. It's my training, so it doesn't feel like
A big deal.
Major.
That's like humble brag there.
You know what? Kenny big deal, as they say. Okay, we're going to go on a break now. When we come back, we're going to be getting into it with our topic of the day, which is health scares. We'll be back soon.
Welcome back to The Spot, and it's time for us to get into it with our topic of the day with our special guest, Dr. D. Today we're talking about something very important, which is health scares. And we're going to be, going through a series of different conditions, viruses that are happening right now, and, just discussing them all round. And the first one that comes to mind, which I think has got everybody panicking, is the Ebola virus.
Let's talk about Ebola.
Yeah.
Yay, fun.
Yeah, well, I was like, oh, welcome to this one.
It's weird because since it's been happening, I find myself, every time I talk about it with somebody or you guys, we playfully talk about it and we make jokes and stuff, but at the same time, when I go home at night and I'm watching the news and I'm like, this thing is really serious.
Real.
Yeah, especially before it crossed over. It was more of a was
not our
life.
thing.
Yeah,
Yes. See, there's that mentality of if it's not in my
here,
backyard,
yeah,
I don't really
Fine.
have to deal with anything
you don't have to
right
think
now.
about it so much.
And I think that's for me, that I would say that is one of the biggest problems we've had with the outbreak, is the fact that, because it's the first, I read somewhere that it's the first time the outbreak has been seen in, the first 2-3 countries that it was seen in. It was like the first major one that they had. So they were never prepared for it.
It was mostly in Central Africa before.
Yeah,
So
than
this
West Africa.
has been West Africa for the first time. So I know it's different. But let's talk about, the disease now, and starting off with there's so many myths out there. People are coughing, people are running away because you're coughing. Nobody wants to shake anybody's hands anymore. What are some of the things we need to know first, based on how this thing works?
Well, Ebola is, it's a viral illness. It's a viral hemorrhagic fever. That's what it's, called. And one, I would say, is kind of a good thing, if there's could be any, is the fact that it's as highly infectious or contagious as it is, you actually have to come in contact with a sick person.
So
yes, so I get people panicking about not wanting to shake anyone, but the fact is you're most likely not going to contact it that way. Most people who would contact Ebola would be people, it's more in about close proximity.
Okay.
So in family settings and in hospital settings. So healthcare workers are actually like at the most risk. Because if you're seriously ill, you're hardly going to be walking around, you know?
So if someone has Ebola and isn't ill yet, he can't necessarily transmit it, is what you're saying?
Yes, they're not
stage.
Yes, they're not contagious at that time. Like you're walking up and down.
What about if they are in their contagious stage and let's say they've sneezed in their hands or whatever and they've touched something?
Don't.
And you touch that
yes,
thing?
And you touch that thing?
Yeah, that's what she's saying, yeah.
That's direct contact.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, so because that's a body fluid, it's on the surface. Even like if the person was on a bed, or you know,
that bed is
somewhere that the person was sweating or coughed or vomited for any reason, you know, that's a source of direct contact.
Wow, so sweat, phlegm,
mucus, semen.
Any sort of body fluid, basically.
Any sort of body fluid.
Yeah, but I guess what she's still saying is even if for that to happen,
you have to be really ill.
And someone who's that ill can't even be just anywhere. It has to be like
they're
in hospital
very
or
weak,
home.
aren't they? Yeah.
But the problem now is that because a lot of people don't understand it, I've heard cases of, you know, like in the places where it first started, where people actually keep their sick relatives at home. People actually escape from the hospital. People, they have all kinds of, because I think it's an African thing. When you don't, things that, you know, some people start to explain it in different ways, like, oh, it's a government propaganda to kill off people. There are all kinds of theories. So people go, like, you're ready for admission. And you're like, this person is not getting better. Let's go home. And then, you know, not knowing how bad it is, they go home and then infect each other.
Right.
So that's part of the problem.
That's very interesting.
Like, let's talk about the guy, the Liberian who died in Lagos, and there's been a lot of talk about people who he flew down with from Liberia. You know, whether people he came in contact with. Now, apparently, when he boarded the plane, he was pretty much okay, but after the time he got here, it was pretty bad. So I don't know, like that case, for example. Liberia is not that far, so it just took a few hours, obviously, for him to get really bad. Is it possible that he had probably transmitted, you know? I
feel like, okay, I wasn't there. I don't know what exactly happened, but I feel like if the reports that say he collapsed as he got to the airport are true, then he was probably, there's a high chance that he was already infectious at the time he was on the plane. So
and I read that there were different stages of contameration, or of like getting.
Well, the thing is, there's an incubation period whereby you might, via direct contact, get the virus, but you won't start to manifest symptoms immediately. There's the incubation period right now is said to be 2 to 21 days, which is about 3 weeks. So for about 3 weeks, you could be perfectly fine, but like it's a range, so it's not going to be like that. It's not going to be. There's no set time for everybody. So anybody could fall ill anytime within that period.
Okay. Well, we're going to take a quick break right here. Make sure you come back with us as we continue to discuss health scares, and we'll see you in just a bit.
Welcome back, guys. You're still watching The Spot, and today we're talking health scares, and we'll be talking in particular about the Ebola virus. And I know there's no cure yet for it, and we've heard all these myths about bitter cola and cola nuts and whatnot. But I mean, we all know that not all of that for now is just talk. So I want to talk prevention. What are the sort of things that people need to do to at least stay safe from it for now?
The most important thing is better hygiene practices. I find that here we're very touchy as a people. Unnecessarily, exactly. Like, you don't have to, and then people, it's not very. People don't think it's a
bad thing.
Yes, and then people don't also. I find that people don't practice hand washing as
often as they should.
And then even play, and then it's just very not, like you would walk into a public place and you use the bathroom, and it's very normal for them not to have hand wash.
Yeah.
And even when they have hand wash, it's like really watered down.
Or
Yeah.
people
like,
who just take leaks on the side of the road and then get back inside
exactly.
the car.
Shake
I want
it
to
off and
touch
go.
you. And so it's a lot of just improved hygiene mostly. And then,
Did
know,
you just call my name?
Yeah.
What did I do?
I didn't say you did. I was just calling your name.
and
I was talking about people who take a leak, shake it off, and get back in the car.
do you do that?
Well, I think every Nigerian guy has done it at some point in their
You
life.
need to stop doing it, guys. Honestly, it's not only because of
No, but if you really have
coronavirus,
to
but
go on the
it's-
road, we don't have public toilets. I'm sorry.
It's
Hold
disgusting.
it. Don't you? What
Hold
girls
it.
have to hold it. You know what?
Or, you know, have a bottle of water and, you know, liquid
Yeah.
soap in your boot. I don't
Really?
care. No, I know somebody
You don't
who carries
understand.
a bottle of water and liquid
For
soap
this
in their
Ebola, I
boot.
will. I'm sorry. I actually will start carrying soap.
Disgusting. It's nasty.
The hand sanitizers can work, right?
Yes, yeah, most of the days, you know.
But there's something about how some hand sanitizers are not as effective as others, so you have to check for the ones that have so and
A
so.
high
I'm not
percentage
sure.
of alcohol or something.
Percentage of alcohol or something.
Well, most of them would write what they have on the.
Yeah, so you can
know,
just check for
So
yourself.
you can just
and-
check for yourself, and they would, you know, at least most of them claim to have like a 99%
Yeah.
germ
rate.
Yeah.
Then what's this talk about meat?
Oh, well, it's
Well, okay, the reservoir for the virus is mostly rainforest animals like bats, fruit bats that they say are commonly eaten in places like Guinea, and chimpanzees and such.
Monkeys and stuff.
Bushmeat.
So yeah, bushmeat. So
Wow.
I don't like that they're trying to, you know.
Now say we should stop eating
stop
meat.
eating soya.
I was asking that about Asun. They said, I said,
No, I
that's
don't.
my small goat meat that I was.
no, but it's a good question, though.
Yeah, so especially
mostly-
because
We can
it's-
never tell.
Well, yes, we can't. But the animals that have been studied and found to be the reservoirs of the virus are the rainforest animals, which is why it's more common in, you know, Central Africa where they
have a lot of
are more-
rainforest. And,
yes.
And what about rats? We were talking about rodents earlier.
Yes, somebody actually called into a radio station asking about mosquitoes.
And rats.
I don't
No,
think- I don't-
because, no, simply because,
Yeah,
you
they
know, if they
take blood and
carry,
yeah,
if they
you
take
never know.
blood from one person, somebody who may have the virus and be in their contagious stage and go and bite somebody else, or
But
is the
there's
virus
no-
big
I
enough
don't
to
think
kill?
that
I
has
don't
been
think,
studied.
yeah, I don't
So-
think that's been studied. Because even with like HIV, I know mosquitoes don't. So
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
doubt that. I don't know. I'm not an authority, but I know mosquitoes are just malaria nonsense.
Horrible. I know. I feel like if
Yeah.
a mosquito bit somebody with Ebola, they just die. It would just die.
Before it
Like
gets to
immediately
anybody
be like,
else.
oh,
tiny.
wrong person to bite.
But no,
With the
rats,
rats, yeah.
rats are
Carriers.
carriers for Lassa fever instead.
Oh,
not-
okay.
Okay.
Not Ebola. So far, it haven't been found.
Yeah.
So-
But of course, when you talk about bushmeat, maybe like those rodents, like
Yeah.
grass cutters, what are those ones they sell if
On
you're
the
like
road,
traveling,
like
you see it like
when you're
this in a stick, and it's very sweet.
Disgusting.
It's really like, you know,
Yes. Grass cutter. It's very nice now.
you know,
That's
3 to
nasty.
21 days, you said incubation?
I've had this
When
in
was
the
you?
last 20 days.
Because I'm just, listen, Lamide
need
is trying
to
to stay safe. I'm trying to stay safe out here. It's hard out here for
I
a
feel really
pimp,
bad
I'm
for one
telling you.
of one joint in Festac, and Natutu. It's a bushmeat joint. I feel, God, I'm not sure anybody's going
Business
there.
is down right now.
I mean,
Business
for
has
now, it's
closed.
just, you
Business
know,
down.
good to be
Nice.
cautious.
Do you know, when I think about this thing, like, I can't help but think about, you know, those movies about,
All these like
Contagion.
contagion and
yes, all of those kind of movies, because now everyone is shutting or trying to shut their borders as quickly as they can.
Yeah.
yeah.
And it's like, oh, okay, you've got it. This is your problem. Please fix it.
Yeah.
Look at our website. This is what we told you to do in order to be
Don't
prepared.
flatten. Yeah.
But do you think government is doing? Do you think we're doing well so far? I mean, it hasn't necessarily
government?
broken out in Nigeria
Which
per
government?
se. Here,
Which one?
Well, there's an answer.
That's yours.
No, I'm saying what my thing is, once it became, you
A
know, this is
problem
an
on the
epidemic.
continent, it should
Yes.
have-
What should have
Yeah, I
happened
agree with you.
should be that the government should have instituted protocols that you would follow, because most people are going to present at a general hospital, at a government hospital, and the truth is that most of them are not
Knowledgeable.
equipped
Enough
to
to-
handle this level of a scare, because, you know, just the fact that you may not be able to isolate the patient in time, you know,
Can be a problem.
is a problem.
Is a problem.
So there should be some protocol that should have been instituted even
Way before it
now,
got here.
you know, because so that the healthcare workers themselves, if they you know, see a patient, because right now there's no.
Everyone's kind of relying on external.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing that's going to say, oh, this person has Ebola, because they're going to present generally. Person could present as like they have malaria, but they're sick.
Yes.
You know, so there should be a high index of suspicion for everybody right now who's a healthcare worker. Or you're in the hospital, this person comes in, this is what you should do. I don't think that has been done.
True. Wow.
Which is a problem.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that needs to, you know,
Please
as quickly as possible.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, definitely gaining a lot of knowledge here about Ebola. I don't know if I've been unscared. I'm actually more scared now a little bit, but knowledge is wisdom, as they say, and knowledge is power. But we're going to go on a quick break, and when we come back, we have much more for you here on The Spot. Hey guys, welcome back to The Spot. Hope you have been enjoying the show so far. And you know, you can always keep tabs on us and join the conversation via Facebook, email, and of course, via Twitter as well. We still have Dr. Chioma Duru in the house. We've been talking about health scares, but we're going to take a quick pause from that. And we're going to see if we can find out.
Detour.
Yes, let's detour and see if we can give some answers to Ask The Spot, the questions that you guys have sent in for us to kind of answer. And so, one of the questions today, who's doing Ask The Spot?
Okay, so one of the questions, the first one is, what are your deepest fears?
It's not the kind of thing I'm
Dr.
going to tell
D.
the world.
What is your deepest fear?
my deepest fear would be not being unhappiness. Yes,
Most definitely.
that would be my deepest fear. You know?
I share the same thing.
Yep,
Yeah.
actually, I do share.
You too?
Yeah.
Copycats, copycats, copycats.
What's
Say
your
own.
deepest fear?
Say your own.
What's your deepest fear?
Thank you.
Why won't you answer first?
I said mine already. I said I
Okay,
agree.
sorry, he wants us to say another one.
Yes.
Oh, okay,
Another
another one. My deepest fear is probably losing pretty much everyone that I love, which unfortunately will happen one day, but
Yeah.
I'm not ready yet.
Yeah. I guess, okay, one of mine would probably be being forgotten, but not like in general, like not that I don't care, but not like the general population, but like people that I really love and care for, like a situation where we can no longer be.
And everybody just moves on.
Yeah, and everybody just moves on, and it's just like, oh, you just were a footnote in somebody's life, especially if you were very, very close or something like that. Like that's a fear, I suppose.
Yeah. I don't know, mine is the deepest, but one of my biggest fears would be looking back and just thinking,
You wasted it.
what happened? You know? I mean, there's been times in my life in the past when I've done it, I'm like, wow, 2 years. And I was like, no, what do I have to show for it, you know? Looking back at maybe when I'm 80 and I'm like, wow, that wasn't worth it after all. Yeah, it would be sad to do that.
Well, that was a fun question.
Okay.
Next. If you had to give up your job, what would be the reason for it?
Better pay somewhere else.
I like that.
Yeah. I'm like, that's
that.
not even really a. I thought, because if
That's like
the
a
question was like,
no-brainer.
if you had to give up what you love, what else would you do?
Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah.
then okay, but
Better pay.
if someone
yes.
tells me, Lamzo, come sweep the floor for $18 million, give me. I'll use a toothbrush. I will sweep the floor with the toothbrush. Don't test me.
Let go.
Let go. Hashtag. So yeah.
Okay.
Pretty much the same
It's
thing.
money. Sorry.
Third one. Will you guys ever move the spot to a new place?
Well, when we get
the
more
lease-
money and we
yeah.
decide to move house.
When the lease is up
Yeah.
and the neighbors
But I
are
wonder what our
tired.
new house would look like. Because this house
Better
is
than
pretty
this.
cool.
Well,
Yeah,
this
I
is
really
a cool.
like
No,
this house.
no, we would move it. I'm sorry,
You
but
like
there's
it?
some
What do
things
you
I
like about
can't
it?
give up.
The color. There's so much color.
Yeah,
I
There
love
is.
color.
it's nice and bright.
Yeah.
What's one thing? Okay, sorry, I'm doing a what's one thing if you had to, and you can't say the same thing. What's one thing if you had to leave and you could only take one thing? What would it be?
The fridge.
Oh, in this house?
Yes, in this house.
The TV.
The Ames chair.
Yeah, that.
You're just shallow because there's nowhere you can't walk into and buy a new TV.
No, because I can take this TV, I can go and sell it, and then I can buy something else with it.
Sell it.
They said if you had to abandon ship, abandon ship, take one thing that means something to you, you would take the TV.
It has the Spot logo on it.
Zainab, oh my shoe.
I can't leave my booze, I'm sorry. I got my booze in there.
Okay.
You guys are so special.
So it's now time for No Thanks Needed. This is where we give advice to people who didn't ask for it, but we're so nice and, you know, you just feel like giving. So in the spirit of giving, Ebuka, who are you giving advice to today?
You.
Oh, really?
I'm just joking. Why does it
I thought you gave her advice. No, because you guys have done it to me, but nobody's ever done it to you guys.
Okay, go on. Somebody,
Don't
wait,
worry.
okay, do you want to take it then?
No. We don't have advice for you, don't worry. It's not about you. My No Thanks that is actually sort of related to the topic. I read sometime, and I think it was last year, about a girl in Kenya who was in, I think, University of Nairobi or something, and she granted an interview and bragged that she had infected over 300 guys with HIV on purpose when she found out she had, you know, the virus. And we've seen a lot of cases like that, actually. There's one in America that happened this year as well. I think the guy got arrested eventually and he's been charged.
Yeah.
So when you hear things like that, you're just like, what purpose are you really trying to serve? You got infected, maybe through your own carelessness, maybe it was a mistake, maybe it wasn't your fault. But I don't think doing that is necessarily going to make you any happier at the end of the day, you know. And with all of these health scares now, talking about families taking their family members back home, and, you know, there's some people who might have it and not necessarily speak up because they're like, okay, let me make sure I, you know, make sure I spread it around. So it's also a fear as well for a lot of people, you know, with ignorance especially. People are not, they have this thing, they don't want to, okay, if I'm going to die, I'm not going to die alone, you know, it's
crazy.
Yeah, so
stop it. Sadly, I mean, with that, because that was another argument that came up with the Liberian man that came into Nigeria who was on his way to go and see his family. And I remember seeing an article, somebody saying that he was a medical terrorist or something like that.
No, I heard that he was something in finance.
No. Somebody was calling him like a medical terrorist for actually knowing that he was sick and going somewhere else. And I thought about it, and I'm like, when you know you're sick and deadly and you have family and you have the chance to see them one more time or something, you're desperate, you'd want to, as sad and, you know, ignorant as it may be. I just wanted to defend that for
I understand your point, but I mean, I don't know as much as it's, there's nothing wrong with seeing your family. I mean, we've had doctors who treat these people. They see them, but you... it's not until you hug and kiss and, you know what I'm saying? There's nothing wrong with seeing them, but keep yourself alive. I'm not sure they wanted you to die with them, if you know what I mean. I'm not sure the sister is excited now that they're both gone. It would have been nice for him to say goodbye, but also, you know, keep him and his family safe. Now his wife is a widow. She never saw him again. She's in America with the kids and he never came back. You know, things like that. So it's just more education, I guess, would have helped.
Yeah, more education.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, with that, we're going to take another quick break. When we come back, we have a sweet spot to share with you. See you in a bit.
Welcome back, guys. You're still watching The Spot. And one has been a very educative day on The Spot. You know, we've been talking about health scares, but now it's time for Zainab to share her pet peeve or sweet spot. Which one?
I'm going to go, I know I said sweet spot before, but I'm going to go with the pet peeve now. Okay. Because I'm very tense about this issue. So I feel like there's email etiquette, as far as I'm concerned. You know, certain things you should do, certain things you shouldn't do. Now, for me, when somebody sends you an email with other people copied, number one, you do not start contacting those people. You have no business emailing those people.
Like personally?
Personally.
What if I have something to tell you?
You have nothing to tell me.
Zainab, that was quite vicious. Actually, just that moment, I just felt like...
Number two, now let's say they send you an email with flight details that, you know, you and these other 30 other people are...
This is like a personal problem that just happened. You look very...
Flight.
Who is this person that upset you so much?
To click this button that you should only use when necessary. Reply all. And then you go,
reply all can be
Shagun,
annoying.
thank you very much for my flight tickets. In fact, When can I come to your office to come and collect that PlayStation that you promised me? Then
The
Lucy
person
will
will
now come.
Lucy.
So, Shegun, do you still have that Game of Thrones that you promised
With
me?
like
And you'll
46
be getting
people.
notifications.
Yes, all the time, and I hate it. And people just bring their personal lives into these emails, and it has nothing to do with me personally.
You know the one I hate? I've been included in a reply or email where someone was sharing like bank information. I just thought to myself, so now I know your account number, I know your account name. I
Do you
mean,
still have
it's not
those
going to take
details?
much. Now, what's left is for you to just, pardon?
Do you still have those details?
No, I do not, you crook.
But you know, I think some people don't actually know not to reply all.
There's reply.
Some people
And then
don't
there's
know actually.
reply all.
Because, for example, the person that was sending bank details, I don't think the person.
But that
really
person
wanted.
is
No, but
That's
that
what you
person,
tell
that
everybody.
person is,
Works
let
in
me tell you what,
finance.
that person is, pardon?
That person works in finance.
You know,
Don't they?
It's possible.
I'm learning that you would always be surprised by the level of things people don't know.
No, it's true. That's why
to be
with like
honest.
etiquette, you mentioned etiquette, sorry.
Yeah.
And most people don't know a lot of things. That's why the etiquette classes and, you know, people don't know
I
these
mean, you
things
think
sometimes, seriously.
yes, to you it's basic. It is basic, but not to everyone.
It's like, please and thank you. There are people who don't think it's necessary. Please, thank you, sorry. But it's etiquette. They don't know.
I want the world to know that all those things are necessary.
Yes.
Please say please. Please say thank you.
Please
thank
do not
you.
reply all.
I mean, listen, you have to tell, show an example, and be practical. I appreciate you guys.
Thank
Thanks.
you.
Do you have any pet peeves, Dr. D?
My pet peeve would be people who always have an opinion on social media.
The gangsters.
Like, I feel like,
but that's what social media is for.
no, you know, that's another thing. So I can't police anyone, but I just feel like, you know, you really don't have to say anything. Or,
At this point.
at this point, I mean, it is perfectly fine if you don't think anything. Nobody's going to beat you.
You weren't even
You know,
called up in
nobody's
the first place.
Exactly. I
What
just
has
feel
made
like-
you tense? Tell us, share,
Give
please
us
share.
one example.
No, not me. But I just feel like, you know, but that's why, you know, again, there's the mute button, there's the unfollow button.
Girl,
Do you know
the
what
way I
need
use
on
that with the
Instagram?
quickness.
I need a mute button on Instagram.
Why not just unfollow?
Unfollow.
No, because then
No,
it creates, like, it
sometimes
gets
you
very
can't,
political.
Because, you know, some people are, these
They're
people
very
are already
sensitive.
in real life. That's the problem.
Yeah.
In real life, you're cool with this person. But then the person just gets on social media.
They're looking at
and
me
they
somehow. I'm
change.
wondering if it's me.
No, your own problem is different. You guys' own issue is different. No, but I mean, just, you know, you don't have to
Yeah.
opine on everything. And then some people, again, these people who, you know, they have these opinions that you've heard before. Then something else happens to someone that, you know, is kind of close to them.
Oh, and that opinion changes. I think.
Change mouth.
Okay, I've seen that. I've seen
Say
that.
something else.
Yeah.
Or, you know, they have an opinion on something, or maybe like government, and they get in government, you're like,
Oh,
I
yes.
see.
Well, that one
Yeah.
I've seen. I definitely have seen that.
Yeah.
But we,
So I feel like, you know, if you didn't tell us in the first place, we won't
We'll
even
not
know
judge
your
Mm.
you.
stance. So we will not judge you.
So can you just keep it
so
short?
just
Okay, that's a good one.
So
that
yeah.
is a good one. Yeah.
Okay, before we round up, we usually do something at the end of the show called do's and don'ts, where we give like just quick tips, what to do and what not to do about the topic of the day. So since you sort of have an idea of, you know,
Resident expert.
what are some do's and don'ts, just quick tips for Ebola virus in particular.
I feel like just general infection control.
Yeah.
Like there's almost nothing as effective as washing your hands. It's simple, but it's so effective. You're out, you get home, wash your hands before you eat, you know. It's very simple.
Take a bath.
It's very simple, but it's very effective. So yes. I
It's
just
true.
wash your
People
hands.
don't even take baths.
What do you mean people don't take baths?
Some
People
people
take
don't.
baths.
No, people don't. So.
Some
I've seen people don't.
You've
This
seen?
Lagos. Yeah, hey, I'm late.
Well, I don't know. I feel like that's worse, like outside the country.
Please, they brought it here. Oh, you I just got back with you.
Pardon?
Brought it back.
No, but really, I think, you know, when you're in, you know, more temperate climes.
Yeah, where you don't.
People
It's not
really-
that tropic. Yeah.
Yeah, people used to show up in school in PJs, and I'm looking at them like, okay.
I had
bath?
I had a friend who, there's a particular brand of deodorant that on the thing it says, so strong it can go for 48 hours or something, and she tested it. She put it on, like, let's say it's a Monday. She put it on like Monday, and she didn't have a bath till Wednesday. And I just thought to myself,
Was she fresh?
Was she leaving the house?
we went to class. She wasn't my roommate, but we were in the same major, and we're friends. So we
Okay, time for us to go and leave Lamide and her friends. Her smelly friends.
Hey,
we don't smell.
Smellos.
So if you're going to send emails, send to us. Facebook, Twitter, we love to hear from you. Smelly people. Thanks, guys. See you next time.
Bye. You are kind.
The Spot was brought to you by Feroz.